Good morning, first grade. It is Friday. Yesterday, I read the beginning of this text to you, Red Eyes or Blue Feathers, a book about animal colors. Today, I'm going to pick up where we left off. And we were talking about our essential question, which is how do animals survive in nature? Now, today, the main idea of this book is that some animals use their colors to help them survive in nature. And some of the details that we read about yesterday were that, let's go back. This tree frog uses its green color to blend in and hide. We read about the polar bear that uses its color also to blend in. Now, it blended in for a different reason than the frog. The frog blended in to hide from predators. The polar bear is a predator, and it blended in to hide from its prey. We also read about that red fox. Now, it did something a little different. It used its colors, one, to blend in as a predator, but also to blend in as a prey. And we also heard about the seahorse that blended in with the seaweed and could change colors. So we heard about many details yesterday. All right, today I am going to start reading with the killer whale. And my daughter's here. I'm going to see if maybe she wants to read this page for us. You want to read a page for us? No? Okay, she's a little bit camera shy. Maybe she'll change her mind by the end. All right, killer whale. So this whale is a killer whale. Its other name is an orca whale. I'm going to read to you today about its colors. A huge black and white animal glides. Oh, now when an animal glides, it means it goes very smoothly and very fast through the water. The killer whale is ready to attack. Oh, if it's ready to attack, is it a predator or a prey? Right, it's the predator. This ocean mammal, we're going to talk about that in a minute. This ocean mammal is a smart hunter. Black and white markings help this large animal hide. From below, its white belly looks like sunlight. From above, its black becomes part of the ocean's shadows. Killer whales use a lot of hunting tricks. Some swim under chunks of ice and tip them. Resting seals slide right into the water. This animal is very smart. So let's talk about a couple things that we heard there. So the underbelly, under the belly of the whale is white. So when an animal is looking up at it and it just sees the white, it looks like sunlight shining into the ocean. So sometimes that whale blends in. Now, if an animal is above it and looks down, its black color blends in with the dark ocean. Usually we think of the ocean as being blue, but when you're really, really deep down in the water, it's so dark because a lot of sunlight can't get there. So this black color would blend in perfectly. Now, what the little text told us down here is that if there are, let's see, I'm going to use my pen here. If there are animals like seals resting on a rock, the orca or the killer whale will come underneath and do this. Now, this is going to be loud. And it will flip the ice over. And what happens is, let me show you that again. It will flip the ice and what? The seal or the animal that was resting on the ice falls into the ocean, and then they're confused, and then the killer whale can swoop in to eat them. A macaw. A macaw is a type of bird, very colorful. Red, blue, yellow, and green feathers float in the air. A colorful macaw lands in the trees. Macaws are some of the brightest birds around. The fancy colors fit well in their rainforest homes. These bold colors help the parrots blend into their surroundings. The white skin around the macaw's beak will turn red if the bird is excited or angry. So it has this red color here. It's kind of interesting because I know some people and their faces get red if they're angry or excited. So that's kind of a connection. What else is cool about the macaw? It lives in the rainforest. The rainforests are very bright, lots of colors. So being colorful helps this bird. Now, that's a little opposite than our tree frog, right? Because they're mainly green so that they can blend in. If this animal lived in our forest, would it blend in? No. Our forests around here are not very colorful. They're mainly green. So in our forest, this macaw would stand out, but in the rainforest, it blends right in. All right, our next animal is the black rhinoceros. Anyone know the nickname for a rhinoceros? A rhino. Yeah, let's clap those syllables out. Let's start with rhinoceros. Are you ready? Rhinoceros. 4. Now, if we clap syllables for its nickname, rhino, how many is that? Rhino. 2. A big, booming tank stomps down the hill. The black rhino is on its way to the watering hole. This giant creature isn't really black. It's actually gray. Rhinos like to cool off by getting dirty. I think some of you will like that. But the mud also makes them look darker. A nice mud bath makes the hot African sun easier to handle. The dried mud on a rhino's skin also protects the animal from pesky flies. So the rhinoceros is pretty smart. It goes down to the watering hole and finds a muddy area and kind of rolls in it. It gets mud on its skin, and that does 2 things. 1, it keeps the flies from bothering them because it can't really land on their skin because there's a coating. But 2, that dried mud, once it dried, acts like a sunscreen. So we wear a sunscreen which protects our skin from getting burned. But the rhino goes a little bit further. It wears mud, and then it protects it from getting burned, but also it protects it from getting too hot. So when we wear sunscreen, we can still get hot. We just won't get burned. But the rhino kind of gets double protection from that. So very smart. Ooh, a jewel beetle. Now, this is cool because next week we're going to talk a lot about insects. So we're going to hear about one today. A shiny blue and gold shell shimmers in the sun. A jewel beetle sparkles on a flower. So you can't really tell in this picture, but these animals are very shimmery and shiny. The bright beetle looks pretty enough to wear. It looks like a gem, but don't be fooled. It uses the dazzling color as a disguise. Predators think this tasty creature is part of the plant. Jewel beetles also use their bright colors to find their mates. So this animal kind of blends in with the flower, and then when a predator is coming by, it thinks, that's just part of the flower, and it doesn't bother it. But also, it uses it to attract its mates. So when another jewel beetle sees it, it says, oh, wow, that's a beautiful beetle. I think I'm going to mate with that beetle. All right, chameleon. All right, there's our chameleon. Green skin turns yellow and then turns to red instead. This changing chameleon rests on a rock. A chameleon's shade changes depending on its mood and temperature. It uses this clever color code to show how it feels. Color is one way chameleons communicate. So I think I have a connection because when we read about the macaw, it said that the macaw's white area around its beak changes colors when it's mad or excited. The chameleon also changes colors depending on how it feels. Many people think chameleons can change any color, but they can't. Their colors do include black, white, blue, green, red, and yellow. So, for instance, they couldn't turn purple, but they can turn all of those other colors. All right. Yesterday and today, we heard a lot of details about our main idea. And our main idea was that some animals use their color to help them survive in the wild. So I thought this was a very interesting book. And I will be back next week to read some more to you. Happy Friday and have a good weekend.